Denver International Airport, DIA. If you've ever been there, you already know the vibe is off, not haunted house off. More like this place was built for something bigger than travelers off. And before anybody starts screaming conspiracy nut, listen to me. I'm not asking you to believe one single theory. I'm asking you to do something most people don't do anymore. Watch behavior. Because behavior tells the truth even when people are smiling at you. Denver Airport has a reputation for being the weirdest major airport in America, and it earned it. Not because some guy on the internet said so, because the airport itself keeps feeding the fire. So tonight we're going to walk through what makes this place different, the art, the underground. The plaque, the horse, the layout, and the way the airport has learned to joke about its own rumors like it's controlling the narrative. Because that's the part that should make you sit up. When the official story starts mocking you before you even ask questions, that's not normal, that's strategy. Now, step 1, understand how DIA was born. Denver used to have Stapleton Airport. Old school, crowded, outdated, so they decided to build a brand new mega airport out on the plains, farther out than people expected, a whole lot of land. So much land that it made people ask the first obvious question. Why so big? Now the official answers are always simple. Future growth, room to expand, patterns, wind, safety. And a lot of that might be true, but the way it happened is what matters. The airport project got slammed by delays, cost overruns, and construction issues. We're talking billions over budget. Years behind schedule. Contractors fired, systems ripped out, redone again and again. And when a project turns into a money furnace that keeps burning beyond what was promised, two things happen. 1, people get suspicious. 2, people start hiding things behind complexity, and DIA was one of those perfect storms. The biggest embarrassment was the baggage system. They tried to build this advanced automated baggage handling system, a futuristic smart airport move. Robots, tunnels, computer-controlled routing. And it crashed and burned so hard it became legendary. Bags flew off tracks, got crushed, lost. It delayed the airport's opening for a long time, and it became the perfect cover story for a whole lot of extra work underground. Because once you tell the public, we have to rebuild tunnels and systems and conveyors, you can dig half the earth up and most people won't know what the hell they're looking at. So right out of the gate, DIA gives you 3 ingredients that always grow rumors. Massive scope, massive delays, massive underground infrastructure. And then, because the universe has a sense of humor, somebody decides to fill the place with art that looks like the end of the world. Let's talk about the murals. Because the murals are the reason DIA became a household name in conspiracy culture. There are these giant multi-panel murals by Leo Tanguma. 2 of the most famous are Children of the World Dream of Peace and In Peace and Harmony with Nature. Now officially the message is hopeful, war is horrible, the planet is suffering. Humanity must change, then peace and healing come after, that's the official intent. But here's the problem, the way it's painted doesn't land like a Hallmark card, it lands like a warning. You've got scenes that feel like war, collapse, masks, grief, burning landscapes, dead or sleeping children. Weapons, panic, control, military figures, gas masks, destroyed cities, animals trapped behind glass, children crying. Then it shifts into and then peace came. So if you're a normal person walking through an airport already stressed, already half awake, you don't read it like a thoughtful art piece. You feel it like a timeline. First comes the disaster. Then comes the new order. And when humans see that pattern, the question is automatic. Who benefits? Because history has taught people one ugly lesson. Big peace plans often arrive after big destruction, so the murals become gasoline, not proof. Gasoline, they don't prove anything, but they light the fire. Now here's another interesting detail. Those murals aren't always visible the same way they used to be. DIA has been renovating parts of the terminal and moving things around. Some murals went into storage. Some disappeared from public view. And when famous controversial art gets tucked away into temporary storage, that doesn't calm people down. It does the opposite. It makes people think the airport is cleaning the scene, and DIA seems to understand perception better than it admits, which brings us to the next iconic piece, the horse. If you've never seen it, imagine this. A 32-foot-tall, bright blue Mustang, reared up like it's about to stomp a car with glowing red eyes. And it sits right outside the airport like a damn guardian. Officially, it's called Blue Mustang, locals call it Blucifer, and whether you love it or hate it, here's the part that sealed the legend forever. The statue killed its creator. A piece of it fell during construction and caused a fatal injury. So now you've got a giant, demonic-looking horse with red eyes. Standing at the entrance of an airport surrounded by apocalyptic murals. and it literally has a death story attached to it. That's not a conspiracy, that's real. And psychologically, it locks the myth in. Because humans don't forget symbols that come with blood, so DIA has an accidental curse narrative baked into its front yard. And instead of moving it somewhere else, they left it there, right at the gate. Now add another layer, that white peaked roof, tell you it represents snowy mountains, or teepees, ensure it can. But it also looks like a giant canvas. A big symbolic crown, a tent, a shell. Some people see mountains, other people see ritual space. Again, no proof, but perception matters. And DIA is a place built on perception. Now let's hit the plaque. This is one of the simplest, weirdest, most unavoidable pieces of the whole story. There's a dedication marker with wording that mentions the New World Airport Commission, and the plaque includes a Freemason symbol. Now, if you're already suspicious, your brain immediately goes, New World, Freemasons, Airport, Underground, Murals, Horse of the Apocalypse. Are you kidding me? It looks like somebody was begging people to connect dots, and here's the thing, even if it's innocent, it's still stupid. Because whoever approved that wording and symbolism had to know how it would read, unless they were clueless or unless they didn't care, or unless they wanted it, and that's where people split. Some think it's accidental, some think it's a joke, some think it's a wink, but either way it's real, it's there, and it's weird. Then there's the time capsule aspect. Messages to the people of Colorado in the future. That also adds to the this is a long-term project vibe. Most airports don't do that kind of theatrical stuff in a main public area. Now let's talk about tunnels and underground space, because this is the heart of the DIA legend. The airport is huge. It has trains, it has service corridors, it has baggage tunnels, it has maintenance routes. Of course it does. Big airports need big infrastructure. But DIA's early construction issues created a perfect rumor engine. If they spent that much money and dug that much underground, what else is down there? You've heard the claims. Underground bunkers, military facilities, a city below the airport, shelters for elites, prison camps, lizard people. Whatever version somebody's brain likes the most. And to be fair, most of that is unproven internet insanity, but here's the part that keeps it alive. There really are big underground areas, and there really were big construction problems. And there really were weird budget stories. And when you mix real complexity with poor public explanation, you create the perfect environment for legends, because people don't trust what they can't see. And airports are full of employees-only doors. Now runway layout. This is one of the most famous claims. People say the runways look like a swastika from above. And if you squint and crop it a certain way, you can make it look like one. But here's what matters more than the symbol itself. Why would an airport allow that rumor to exist without permanently addressing it clearly? And the answer is, they kind of did, but also they didn't. Because the layout can be explained by wind patterns, safety spacing, and routing planes away from populated areas. And again, most of that is probably true. But once a rumor attaches to a shape, it becomes meme-proof. You can't kill it. You can only feed it or starve it, and DIA, instead of starving it, started feeding it. This is the part that makes DIA unique. Most institutions get defensive. They deny, they threaten, they try to shut people up. DIA took a different route. They leaned into it. They literally started doing marketing that jokes about conspiracies, signs, winks, little what are we building posters, secret tunnels, lizard people. They turned it into a brand. And on one hand, that's brilliant, because if you can turn a rumor into a joke, you take the teeth out of it. You make the curious person feel silly. You make the serious person look unstable. You control the emotional temperature in the room. It's like someone laughing while they're hiding something behind their back. Maybe they're hiding nothing, but the laughter still works as a shield. And that's why DIA stays famous, because it's one of the only official places that seems to enjoy being accused, and that's not normal behavior. Now let's talk about the little details people miss. The gargoyles, there are gargoyle sculptures in the airport, not or Denver. Gargoyles traditionally are protectors, but in modern culture people associate them with demons. So again, DIA chooses art that can be read two ways, playful or sinister. And when a place already has a reputation, two ways becomes one way. Everything becomes suspicious even if it's not. So what's the real conclusion? Here it is. I'm not telling you Denver Airport is a secret underground prison for the elite. I'm not telling you it's Illuminati headquarters. I'm not telling you lizard people are having staff meetings under Gate B17. What I am telling you is this. DIA is a masterclass in how symbols, ambiguity, and bad explanations can create a myth that never dies. And if you want the most honest question you can ask about this place, it's not, are the conspiracies true? It's, why does this airport generate them so easily? And why does it seem comfortable keeping them alive? Because even if every rumor is false, there's still something true underneath it. A truth about power, a truth about trust. A truth about how institutions can hide behind complexity and then laugh at the public for being confused. And a truth about how humans react when they feel like they're being managed. When you put apocalyptic murals in baggage claim, when you put a deadly red-eyed horse at the entrance, when you put New World language on a plaque with Masonic symbolism, when you build a giant complex underground system and lose control of costs and timelines, you don't get to act shocked that people start asking questions. You built a stage and you lit it perfectly. So here's my challenge to you. If you ever travel through Denver International Airport, don't just look at the art, look at the design choices. Look at what they make unavoidable. Look at what they joke about. Look at what they never fully explain in a way that satisfies normal people. And then ask yourself, is it all just a series of bad decisions? Or is it a place that understands the power of myth and uses it like camouflage? Because the oldest trick in the world is this. Hide something important in plain sight, then make sure anyone who notices it gets laughed at. That's how you bury truth without needing walls. That's how you build a prison made of ridicule. And whether DIA is innocent or not, it has become the perfect example of that technique. This is buried knowledge. The name Sakya is older than stone. The space between us is listening. And now you know how to talk back.